Hey guys, so today I'm going to be filming my top 20 TBR books. I do have over 100 books on my to-be-read list currently that I own, so this is a pretty small percentage of those books. These really are my top books that I want to read in the very near future. Because Christmas break is coming up, hopefully I'll have the opportunity to do so. So these first 4 books were on my November TBR, so I'll just go through them very quickly. If you want to know more about them, you can check out my October wrap-up video and hear more about these. Number 1 being The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. This is the sequel to The Fifth Wave, which is an alien book about an invasion of Earth, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I loved The Fifth Wave. I'm going to pick it up over Thanksgiving break with my family. Number 2 is My True Love Gave to Me, and this is a compilation of 12 holiday stories by 12 awesome authors. Each author wrote a short story to put in this book of cute little holiday romances, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Again, I'll be picking it up over Thanksgiving. Next we have The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. this is the sequel to The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. That one I read in October and it was really pretty creepy, so I kind of have to get myself in the right mindset before I start in on the second one. Next, I have the third one, which is The Retribution of Mara Dyer. This just came out on November 4th, so I had my copy a few days after that because I pre-ordered it. So I really want to get into it because it just came out. I want to marathon the series because I just read The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, so if I get into it now, then I'll probably still remember all the details. After that, we have another sequel, which is Siege and Storm. This is a fantasy book set in Russia, which is really unique. I loved the characters in the first one, Shadow and Bone, but I haven't read the first one for over a year, so I'm kind of debating whether or not I should just jump into the second one or if I should reread Shadow and Bone. And then next I have Ruin and Rising, which is the third and final book in the Grisha trilogy. Number 7 is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. What? I know. I've never read this book. I know, it's shocking. Everybody has read this book, but I haven't, so I think that it's high time that I get into this series. I haven't read any of them. In fact, I haven't read any of Cassandra Clare's series, so going with that theme, we have The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. I have never read any Holly Black either, so this should be a good foray into their writing. This one is a middle grade fantasy about a boy who is trying to avoid magic at all costs, but he ends up succeeding in the Iron Trial and getting sent to a magical school. Whoops. The next book is one that I've been wanting to read for quite some time, and that is Matched by Ali Condi. The reason why I haven't actually started this one yet is because it is a love triangle book, and we all know how I feel about love triangles. They're not okay with me. However, lots of people loved this book, so I'm willing to give it a shot, especially because the next one is Atlantia by Ali Condi, which was just released, so I kind of wanted to read some of her other books before I started in on Atlantia. Number 11 is Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. If you watched my very first haul, then you would know about this book. It's a book about a brother and a sister who fall in love with each other, so it is about incest. It seems like it's going to be a pretty heavy book, so I want to wait until I'm in a really happy frame of mind before I step into this one, but I'm doing pretty good right now, so I'm thinking this might be on my TBR in the near future. Number 12 is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. This book follows a fierce warrior girl where each kingdom is perpetually in a different season. So she lives in the land of forever winter. I can relate to this. I live in Alaska. I sometimes feel like I'm living in perpetual winter. Next we have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I know, again, you're probably pretty startled that I haven't read this book, but I'm going to rectify that situation in the very near future. If you don't know, Throne of Glass is about an assassin girl who is cast into these games where she has to fight for her freedom. Another very popular series is the Shatter Me trilogy, and I do own all 3 of the books plus the 2 novellas, so I have absolutely no excuse not to have read this book yet. Surprisingly enough, I've actually managed to avoid all spoilers having to do with this book, so I don't really even know what it's about, and I want to keep it that way. Number 15 is The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove. This seems like a really interesting, different book. In this book, each country, I believe, or it might be continents, are in a different era, so if you travel between them, you're actually traveling between different time periods. So there might be a medieval, there might be a futuristic, there might be an ancient Greek. So I definitely want to read that one here really soon. 16 is Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. I've only read one other Ellen Hopkins book, and that was Crank, and I wasn't really expecting to enjoy it because of the poetic style of writing. I'm not a big fan of poetry, but I really actually liked that about the book. It worked for what the book was about, so we'll see if I still enjoy her writing style in Rumble, which is about a boy dealing with the suicide of his brother. John Corey Whaley is another author that I haven't read any of his works, but I really want to. Where Things Come Back has been compared to The Shock of the Fall, which I recently read and reviewed, and I very much enjoyed that book, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Number 18 is Just One Day by Gail Forman. I've only read one other Gail Forman book, and that was If I Stay, which I really enjoyed for her writing style, so we'll see if I continue to like her writing in this one. This is about a girl who meets a boy in Paris, and they have one whirlwind day together, which is always a really cute concept, so it'll be like a little rom-com in a book. Number 19 is Alienated by Melissa Landers. This is about a valedictorian selected to be the first host to the first alien ever to come to Earth, and the alien happens to be this very hot-looking young man. So I can pretty much guess what's going to happen, but we'll see if I'm right. The New York Times says that it's a perfect blend of sizzling romance, action, and suspense. Last but certainly not least, we have 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This book was just released on November 4th, and I pre-ordered it. I have been looking forward to this one for quite a while. It's about a girl whose father created this device. The device is called the Firebird, and it transports people between dimensions. So it's sort of got a Cloud Atlas feel, according to everyone who was able to get their hands on it early. I guess it deals with the concept of whether people are the same when they travel between dimensions and become different people. Plus, the cover is gorgeous. Okay guys, those were my top 20 TBRs as of right now in November 2014. Let me know if you have any suggestions for books I should add to my ever-growing TBR list. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye guys.